Good morning, everyone. Thank you for coming to class today. Um, so today we're going to need just a little bit of wall space, like I said, for just a couple of things, but you don't have to set your mat up there if you don't want. And we are going to start laying down with a strap nearby. I'm going to stay seated because I want to read. Again, this morning I've been doing reading a lot. I go through phases. And so the book again, Half-Life of Angels, The Half-Life of Angels by Mark Nepo. If you don't have it, you may want to get it because it's awesome. And he has so much wisdom in his book from a lifetime of figuring it out, just like all of us are. So if you would like, go ahead and lay down and get comfortable and just have your strap where you can reach it as a maybe you'll need it. You're welcome to put a light, low pillow or blanket underneath your head to be more comfortable. And your knees can be either straight or bent. And then maybe place one hand at the low belly and one hand up around the heart. And find your breath. And feel just this rhythmic inhale and exhale of your breath. This breathing in, so simple, breathing out, so simple that we often don't have to think about it. And feel yourself settle into your mat. And the poem that I want to read today is called Path Work. What light is for plants, love is for souls. It is that which causes us to grow and that toward which we grow. As a seed inches underground toward a light we can't see, love and suffering cause us to break ground and flower. We break ground by following our heart, by being real and being kind. This stirring to break ground and flower is our transformation. I welcome it by any name. It has saved my life. So with that, just feel your breath. Notice. And we think of all of the transformational events in our lives that has in one way or another guided us on this journey or saved our own lives. And we welcome them. Allow your hands to release. Take the arms overhead in any comfortable way. In other words, they can be straight or the elbows can be bent. And straighten the legs if your knees are bent. And find the length of your body. So just start to stretch from one side to the other side, maybe pressing one heel away more and the other heel away more. And the next time you press one heel, let that stay pressed away and stretch the same side arm even more. Lower the other side arm down to your side. So, and even you can even let your head or your neck turn to that side a little bit. So I'm stretching my left leg and my left arm. My right arm is down at my side, relaxed. My head is just a little to the right. And I feel this stretch through my belly. Find a deep breath here. Exhale it out. And then let that side go and start to lengthen the other side. Maybe it's your right side. Heel moves away, the arm moves away, the other arm down at your side, just relaxed, pressing away, stretching. Relax your jaw. Just feel this gorgeous little stretch. And let that go. And then take both arms, bend the elbows so that maybe one palm rests on top, or one hand rests on top of the other one. I have both palms of my hands facing up toward the ceiling, the elbows on the ground or toward the ground, and breathe. And just a really simple organic opening of the shoulders. Deep breath. And bend the knees, let your feet come to the floor. Leave your arms where they are. If you need to or want to, lift your hips, lengthen your torso so your lower back isn't overarching. And then feet together, knees out to the side, Baddha Konasana. Let the knees be really soft and heavy. Don't force them or push them down. Just let gravity take them as they are the shoulders. And breathe. Leaving the legs the way they are, some of you are going to be able to slide the forearms so that your hands, your fingertips are closer to your elbows than the palms. Just see how that is for you. Again, doing some gravity assisted stretch here, right? Opening up the armpits, the chest. Find your breath. Try not to force anything. That's it. A couple more breaths right here. Watch for that overarching in your lower back. Keep the legs, release the arms to cactus pose. Just cactus arms. Again, opening up through the chest. And then very carefully, your left elbow and your left knee are going to go over to the right. You're going to touch arms. You're going to roll to your right side and maybe look down at your mat. And then slide everything open and go to the left. So left knee, or right elbow, go to the left and open. And just keep going, kind of nice and slow. And in the transition parts, pause. Just go a little slower through there so you feel the stretch, rolling from one side to the other side. If it's comfortable, your head is just going with you, rolling from side to side. I have to do a little lift of it because of the earbuds. Nice. The next time both of your knees are over to the right, I want you to pause, leave the left elbow out to the side. So we're in a little baby twist here. Take a nice deep breath. Maybe the left arm reaches up a little higher again to stretch through the chest, the armpit, the inner arm. Big breath in, deep breath out. Bend your left elbow back to cactus. Left knee opens. The right knee follows. The right arm stays where it is, again in a twist. And then maybe you stretch that right arm a little bit. Deep breath. Your right knee comes back to the center. Both knees come up so that they're pointing up to the ceiling, and we can release those arms back down to your sides. Grab your strap. Actually, don't use your strap yet unless you really need it. We're going to do just a little bit more leg opening. So draw both knees to your chest. Your arms can be in cactus. They can be down at your sides. It's okay for now. I want you to take the legs up toward the ceiling, both legs. You're going to open both legs out to the side. You know, this is something I enjoy doing here. So you're in a wide leg pose and then bend both knees so that the heels come to the back of your thighs and then draw the knees together. Okay. So legs straight, legs wide, knees bend, try to keep the knees apart and then draw the knees together. One more just like that. Legs up, legs wide, bend the knees, bring the knees together. Good. Add the arms to this. The arms go up, the legs go up. Take both legs and arms out wide. As you bring the knees or bend the elbows toward side body and then bring it all together. Yep. We've been doing this kind of coordinated, synchronized yoga swimming thing. So take the legs up, open wide, arms with it. Bend the knees, bend the elbows, bring everything together. One more here. Take them up, open wide, bend knees, elbows, and bring them all together. Nice job. Take everything back up, by the way, low back folks. If you want those thumbs under your sacrum, please go ahead and do that. The arms are up, the legs are up, your right leg lowers and hovers ideally, and your left arm goes overhead. So opposite limbs, you're looking up at the ceiling, you should see your left leg and your right arm. Breathe, everybody. Press the belly down, a little bit of warm up here, core work. Take everything back to center. Your left leg and your right arm lower. The arm is overhead, the leg is toward the front end of your mat. Everything is hovering or your thumb is touching the mat. Everything to center. Here we go. First side, left leg and right arm stay up. Right leg, left arm go down. Breathe. Try to straighten the limbs. Everything up. Lower the other side. Big deep breath. Press through your belly. Keep your sacrum on the ground. Everything up. Listen up. Take both arms, legs out to the sides and squeeze them in like you're going through mud. Good. Open and squeeze. Good. Inhale as you open. Exhale, squeeze it together, chest and legs. Good. Two more. Take it out. Squeeze it in. Last one. Open. And squeeze, 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 and let go. Bring your knees to your chest. Good job, everyone. Your feet to the floor. You're going to lengthen your tailbone. Remember last class, we talked about trying to feather the glute muscles into the hamstrings and the hamstring muscles feathering back into the glutes. So the spot right there where the glutes end and the hamstrings begin. I want you to lengthen that tailbone, press into your feet, but don't lift. Your elbows can be on the ground. Your fingertips are pointing up. My ankle injury friend out there, just be mindful. Press into your feet as if you're lifting your hips off the ground, but don't lift. Pull the heels back. There's your hamstrings. Again, I promise we won't do a full hamstring class this time, but just feel the activity of the legs. Take a deep breath right here. And on the count of 4, I want you to lift up through the count of 4, lift your hips. 1, 2, 3, 4. Squeeze the outer hips. Exhale, 1. Lower the hips. 2, 3, 4. Press into your feet. Lengthen the hips. Lift up. 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale. 1, 2, 3, 4. Good. Just one more like this, feathering those muscles toward each other. Lift for 4. Exhale for 4. The whole time the shoulders are pressing down to the floor. All right, we're going to do 4 more just like that, or your option is here. Push into your left foot. Take the right leg up to the ceiling. Press into your left foot and lift and lower your right foot so it's parallel with your other thigh. So it's at a diagonal. Push into your shoulders, everybody. Lift through your chest and then bend that knee. Put that foot on the floor. Lift and lower. Same thing, other side. You're going to push into your right foot. Just extend the left leg diagonally. I think that'll be a little easier to get into. Push into your right foot, lift your hips. Hold for a moment, press the upper arms into the floor, relax your head, neck, jaw, and lower down, foot to the floor. One more, both sides, or you're doing both legs. Extend the right leg, fire up the leg, push into your left foot and lift the hips. Woo! Breathe, everybody. Engage, feather the glutes to the hamstrings and vice versa. Lower that down. Last one, last side. Breathe, extend the left leg, push strongly into the right foot, even as you isometrically draw that heel back. Lift the hips, press the outer shoulders to the floor. Find your breath, woo, and lower down. Both knees to chest, well done. Rock those hips side to side. And then roll the legs over to one side and come on up to a seat. That was fun. All right. And some of us may be warmed up already. So come to a seat and find Dandasana pose. Move the flesh out of the sit bones. If you would like to sit up on a blanket, please go ahead and do that. And then again, let's fire up the legs. For me, if I do nothing, my big toe mounds tend to curl in just a little bit. So I want to lengthen the inner ankles, press the big toe, or really the whole ball mound of the feet out. Fire up the toes a little bit, take the hands beside you and draw the shoulders back. Now a little tone to the belly is going to help support the lower back. Breathe. If you're good, stay here. If you want to take the arms up, bring the arms up and imagine you're holding on to a beach ball. Lengthen the front of the chest and then reach one arm up even higher. Again, starting to stretch one side of the body. Soften that and reach the other arm up. And breathe, release that. The arms go out to T position. Bend your knees and then slide them out to the sides. I know, right? Here we are, the synchronized yoga here. You're going to bend the elbows, cactus, and you're going to slide the feet together. Easier on some surfaces than others, I know. Good. Bring the elbows together, bring the legs together. Squeeze the inner thigh, squeeze the chest. Yeah, take the arms up. When you're ready, arms at T, slide the legs out. Breathe. Cactus arm heels together. It doesn't have to be your prettiest Baddha Konasana. Don't worry about that. And then slide the legs straight, arms together. Last one. Take them up. I really think this is good for our brains. So hang in there with me. Squeeze the beach ball. When you're ready, slide them out. Woo. Find your breath. Cactus and Baddha Konasana. Stay here. Press the shoulders back towards each other. Let the arms go. Lift your hips and just press those sit bones back a little bit and then come into your truer version of Baddha Konasana. We know, I say this every class, if we're doing this kind of thing, if you would like blocks under the knees to support this, right? So ideally, in the real world, in the ideal yoga world, if your knees were up here, you would stack blankets or have a block under your hips to lift your hips so that your knees and your hips are roughly level. That's kind of tricky to do when you're in a class and you got all, you're fussing with all your props. So if you have that ability, go ahead and get those hips up a bit higher if your knees are up high. And then just pause here. You can even lean back. It's kind of nice. You lean back, you lessen the angle of the hips, the knees maybe come down a little bit more. And then gentle little flutter of the knees. Again, I do not want you pushing down, forcing down, any of that kind of stuff. You're just fluttering like a little butterfly. Sting like a bee. What is that thing? Float like a butterfly, sting like a bee. I don't know where that came from, but Muhammad Ali. All right, come on, center, everybody. You can hold ankles or feet, but again, don't pull on things. Lift up through your torso. And then lean back, bring the knees together. Straighten, I'm going to mirror here, so straighten your left leg. Take your right leg, step over, and then come up really tall with your torso. Wrap your arms around. Good. Your bottom leg is active. The foot's flexed. Ideally, the stepped over foot is planted. For some, I know it'll be a little bit sickled, but see if you can plant it. And then if it's your left leg straight, your left arm wraps around. Before you twist, I want you to inhale and get long. And then twist over to your right and take the right arm behind you. And notice your pose, right? This is a twist. So where is that twist coming from? Can you feel the belly button and the low ribs and then the mid ribs and then the chest as you move into a twist? For me, the cervical spine, the neck, is the least amount of twist. I don't over twist there. So lengthen your spine. Take a big deep inhale and an exhale. One more inhale. And on the exhale, come back to center. Listen up. You're going to take this knee, if you can, and drop it down. Once again, a block here could be helpful, right? If your knee is really high, you can just support that knee a little bit. With that knee dropped down, inhale, bring the arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Whoo, you are not going to go far here. Why? We have kind of trapped the hamstring from compensating by lifting the knee. So you'll feel a hamstring stretch a whole lot quicker, I think. So just breathe here. Find the first stretch. Notice how it feels. Maybe shift in the hips a little bit. Where is your right hip versus your left hip? Did they feel pretty even here, or did the right hip shift forward or back, right? So just play there a moment, just feel that. And then come on up. Maybe no hands, maybe take those hands to your heart. Lift, straighten the right leg, straighten both legs. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, go wide. Woo. Cactus arms, Baddha Konasana, just because. And then arms, elbows in, legs straight, and let go. Good, let's go to the other side. You're gonna take that left leg, bend the knee, step over, lift up super tall. And as you lift, the chest lifts, the belly tones. You're taking right arm, right leg, take that right arm around the knee and then lift up, big deep breath. Exhale as you twist. I remember the first time I ever heard that when you move into a twist, your inhale is to lengthen the spine, your exhale is to find the twist. So breathe here as you inhale, maybe you get taller. As you exhale, you find the beauty of this twist. I always picture the spine doing this spiral around itself. The bottom leg is grounded. Your right leg is grounded. All right, inhale here. As you exhale, let go of that twist. Take that left leg and just drop the knee. Inhale both arms. Exhale, come on forward. Find your breath. Open up the shoulders, everyone. Excuse me. Maybe you draw the shoulder blades toward each other a little bit more as you find this little confined hamstring stretch. One more big deep breath. And come on up. No hands. Take your hands to your heart. Release. Straighten that leg and then just shake everything out. Shake everything out. And then come into a seated pose that's comfortable for now, whether it's cross leg or out here. As long as your spine is good, I'm good. All right. Arms go out to the sides. You're going to take your left hand to the right side of your chest. Right here. And then you're going to pull the flesh back toward the left as the right arm extends out. From here, go ahead and bring the right arm back. Follow it with your gaze. Keep it at the level of the shoulder if you can. Yep. But keep the shoulder down away from the ear. And then bring it out and switch sides. You're pulling the flesh back to that side, extending the arm out, and then finding that twist stretch of the chest. Big deep breath. And center. Both arms out. Inhale, bring the arms up. Exhale to your heart. Interlace, press out as you curl. And then inhale, bring the arms up. Palms face the ceiling. If that hurts your wrist, please separate those hands and exhale down. Both arms out. Your left arm underneath your right. Left arm under right. Bend the elbows and start to play with the idea that you could touch the back of the palms, but then open them back out to flat. So open and then touch the backs of your palms. And open, right? So precursor to eagle arms. Good. Press, open. Just one more. Press, hold here. If you can, touch palms instead of the backs of your hands. Eagle arms. Drop the shoulders. If you feel super crunched up in your shoulders, I would rather see the hands or the elbows separate than the shoulders all crunched up. Good. Release. Slide them out to your elbow to hand. And then just take them both overhead if they'll fit. And breathe. Good. Release it. Roll it out. Arms out. Other side. Right elbow underneath the left. We're going to bend and see if we can touch backs of hands and then open them back up again. And squeeze them in. And open. Yep. Two more. Squeeze. Open. Squeeze. Open. And then when you bring them in, either your back palms are back to back, or the hands are open, or you're going to find the ability to wrap around until it's really not even palm to palm. It's my fingers to my palm in eagle arms. Ooh. And you'll notice pretty quickly which side tends to hold more tension. Good. Draw the shoulder blades back a little bit. See if you can have a little less rounding of the back shoulders, just a little bit. You're just drawing back some. Find your breath. And then release, slide hand to opposite elbow. Take both arms overhead. I have to do this experiment to see if everybody's elbows are basically at the tops of their heads. I don't know. It's just kind of a curious thing. And then release, open, and exhale. Whew. Well done, everybody. Shake all that out. And let's come up to table pose. So table pose, if you would like, blanket under your knees. Go ahead and take a moment. Excuse me. Always, always. And then have your blocks near the front of your mat. Take your knees wide on your mat and let the tops of your feet relax. Your left hand will go to the center of your mat or, basically under shoulder or just to the inside of the shoulder. Tuck your belly in, take the right arm up to the ceiling. And notice the head, notice the tension on the neck. Actually draw the chin back. And then if you want to gaze up, that's okay. But I wouldn't do it under strain. We're not going to eye of the needle. We're just going to mimic it. So that right arm slides under the left elbow and reaches as if the elbows were going to cross. And then it reaches back up. Good. Exhale as you bring it under, look to the left, and inhale as you raise that arm up. Last one. Squeeze it under, look at the elbows, they almost cross, and take it up and let go. Keeping your knees wide, the feet a little toward each other. Right hand moves in towards center. The left arm goes up. Stretch through your chest, everybody. Let's open up those chests, open up those hearts. And then exhale, that arm slides past the right elbow and reaches. And then you inhale as you raise up. Exhale, slide it under. Inhale, reach it up. Good. Last one, slide it under as if you were going to cross elbows and reach it up. And then release that fully. Plant both of your hands. Bring the knees back to hips width. Open up those inner elbows. The inner elbows face your thumbs. Your fingers spread apart nice and evenly. And then flip, flip your toes under. Tone the belly in. Start to come to your downward facing dog. Once you're in down dog, go ahead and pedal your feet. Just stretching one side to the other side. And breathe. Good. All the way up on tippy toes, everyone. And then the heels closer to the floor. Take your feet wide on your yoga mat. Walk your hands back. Bend the knees, and press the knees out away from each other. Your hands come to your knees. I want you to look forward. Draw the shoulders back and then come up to standing and move your blanket out of the way for now. Excuse me. Let me take a sip of water. All right. So I want you to come to the wall. Now, wall work, right? Be mindful, be gentle. We're going to come into a wall squat. Trying to see where I want to be here. Am I going to slide? No, I think all right. So I'm going to move my mat out of the way. Make sure your mat isn't going to slip, okay? So if you're on a mat and that mat feels slippery, I would probably come off your mat. And then come into your version of a squat. And what does that mean? Ideally, knees over ankles, but they don't have to be. You can be at a lesser angle here. You're going to bend the knees and then feel the center of your sacrum against the wall. And then here in the upper body, I want you to bring the shoulders to the floor, press the to the wall, bring the back of the shoulders to the wall, bring the elbows to the wall, take your palms face up as if you were holding on to a tray, and the tray's a little heavy. So you got a little bicep work there. You got a little bit of weight in those hands, and then find the center line of the back of the shoulders. Rest your head on the wall if you can. If your upper back is really rounded here, your head may be away from the wall some. Don't lift the chin to bring that head back. Just try to have a neutral head. Press back. Oh yeah, feel in those legs. Breathe. And then turn the palms down. Lower the hands. Push against the wall and stand up. and breathe. Don't move the legs, don't move the feet. Maybe look at your feet. Are they parallel to each other? Are they even with each other? And then lean back into your wall. It hasn't moved. Bend back in, come back to your squat. I know, right? Now, some of you are feeling very spunky this morning. You can take those hips lower, more work. Don't overarch the back, but keep some space there. So natural curve, press the elbows back. This time I want you to take the hands forward. And as you breathe, and you can come out of squat, by the way, if you want, I want you to bring the elbows in like you're pulling on a rope and squeeze the arms back. And then lift forward. Good. Squeeze back and reach forward. Squeeze back. This is upper chest work and forward. Good. 2 more. And forward. Hang in there. Squeeze back. Push the whole upper arm, shoulder, elbow into the wall. Hands down to the wall. Push off and stand up. Shake it out. We got, I think, one more. Hang in there with me. All right. Hands to the wall. Lean your butt back. Take the chest back, find your alignment again, roll back, see if you can come to cactus arms. Depending on what you have behind you, good. Lengthen through the tailbone, press the feet out isometrically, and then take the arms overhead and bend the elbows, bring them down. Kind of like doing snow angels. Reach them up. Squeeze the elbows to your side body. Good. 3. Yep. Breathe. And 4. Come on. We got one more. And 5. Good. Release those hands. Push. And shake it out. Good job, everyone. We're going to stay with the wall just so we don't have to come back to it. We can put our mats back in place. We're going to face the wall. So believe it or not, toward eagle pose. And for us to do eagle pose, we gotta be strong in the legs, gotta be open in the shoulders. So let's do some wall push-ups. We're gonna change the hand position. If you aren't working with a wall, I invite you to play on your mat, preferably knees down. Again, unless you're feeling really spunky. So come to the wall and place your hands where you would for down dog as far as width, okay? Ideally, the hands are at the level of the chest. The elbows are in. And then I'm going to slide my feet back and come onto the ball mounds of my feet. I'm looking at the wall. So we're going to do 5 push-ups in this position. If this is hard, you simply come closer to the wall, okay? Further away, a little bit harder. Here we go for 5. So 1, 2, go slow. 3, 4, and 5. Good. Look at your hands, walk them in one hand print. This time the inner elbows are going to face each other, and we're going to see if we can keep the elbows from splaying out quite so much. So more chaturanga. The belly's toned, the legs are active. Here we go. 1, 2. It's almost like you're bringing elbows to the wall. 3, and 4, and 5. Push off. Woo! Good. Shake it out. We have one left. You're going to bring the hands in one more hand print. We're going to walk in a little bit closer. The other thing you're going to want to do is raise the hands up so that your thumbs are right about maybe level with your nose. Now just drop one elbow to the wall, just one. You're going to turn sideways and push off of that. Drop the other elbow to the wall, push off. One more, both sides. Drop one elbow, out, other elbow, out. You know what's coming, either single elbows or both. This I find the hardest. The elbows stay trained in, the forearms stay level. Here we go. 1, push into your hands, straighten the arms, tricep work. 2, push off. 3, push, straight arms when you do. 4, push. 5, and if you did single arms, do 1 more just so you're even. And then let go and shake those babies out. And come on back to your mat. Love wall work. Love, love, love wall work. Good. Step wide on your yoga mat. Shake everything out. Turn your toes out just a little bit. Come back into a comfortable squat. You might say there's no comfortable squat. So lengthen the tailbone, draw the belly in, the chest is nice and high. You can come out of this if you want. Both arms out to the sides. Cross your left under your right. Bend the elbows. Take the backs of the hands together. We did this when we were seated. If you can, stay in squat. If you want to come out, come out. Straighten the hands out to the sides. Bring them in. Squeeze. Out. Squeeze. 3. Squeeze. 4. Squeeze them in. Last one. Squeeze and hold. If you can, wrap your left palm around to the right and come into eagle arms. Now, stand with the legs straight, lift the elbows. Exhale, bend, squat, elbows down. Just 3. 1, that's 2, and 3. And then stand straight. Release the arms, open them up. Switch sides, you're right under your left. Here we go. You're going to slide backs of hands together. Sorry, come on into squat. Gosh, I can't believe I forgot that. And open. Squeeze them in and open. 3 and 4. And 5. Hold. See if that right hand will slide around to the left. Find your breath. Here we go for 3. Stand up, lift the elbows. Exhale down. And 2. And 3. And release. Inhale the arms up, everybody. I want you to take those hands behind you and interlace and roll the shoulders back and down. Turn the toes more forward. Keep your hands at your sacrum and come forward. Now, some of you are just going to come halfway down. I want you to press the front of the shoulders away from the floor. If you're comfortable, allow the upper body to come down. Stay in control. Press the feet out. Still okay, you can release the arms and take them up toward the ceiling. Deep breath, everyone. Release your hands to the floor. Take the toes out to the slight angle. Bend one knee. Stretch the inner thigh of the other leg. Keep your hips back, back, back so that that bent knee stays protected. Come to center, go to the other side. And center, heel toe in all the way. Bend both knees, hands come to your knees, come on up. Shake it out. Good. Grab one or both of your blocks. I'm going to turn sideways just so you see what in the world I'm doing. I would start with a stack of blocks, one on top of the other. And you're facing your blocks. You got enough room between them and your feet. You're going to take your right leg and just walk it a little to the middle. And you're going to cross your left leg over it. Okay, so your knee to knee, and then I want you to bend the back knee into the front knee. Hinge from your hips and take your hands to your blocks. If that's too low, come up higher. If you have more room than that, more stretch than that, you can take the blocks down lower. Now, this is a precursor to eagle legs, right? Your back knee presses into your front knee. You can bend those knees more. That left heel will lift off the floor if it isn't already. And just feel the power of your legs here. Squeeze your thighs. And as you release, I want you to come out the way you did so your blocks help you here. Push into your blocks, undo your feet, bend the knees, and come on up to standing. Okay, that makes sense? So same thing, other side. Your left foot's just going to walk a little bit more center of your blocks. Your right foot steps over. The back knee bends into the front knee. And then hinge from the hips to take your body forward. Maybe you start on both blocks and you just play here. Go, what's that feeling like? Right? Stretch at the hip. Breathe. Maybe you lower down some and breathe. Maybe you bend both knees more. That front leg's heel is gonna lift up. Breathe. And then straighten the legs. Get your blocks stacked so you can come to a more neutral spine. Undo your legs. Whew. Bend both knees, hands to your knees, and come on up. Whew. And shake that out. Now let's come to the wall with one block. One block. I'm just going to move this mat too because it's just going to throw me off. One block. You're going to face the wall. And the block is going to be to the outside of your left foot. Okay? Just to the outside of your left foot. Your hands are going to come to the wall and you're facing straight on. Think mountain pose at the wall. I want you to take your right foot, step over your left foot, and come to the ball mound to your block. Bend both knees like you're going to have a seat. Don't go deep. And just notice, so right knee is over left, both knees are bent, both hips are square to the wall. One, you're here. Two, you're going to just cross your arms so that your left arm goes high, your left elbow's above, and your right elbow is below. So you're doing this really cool little wall eagle pose. Good. One, you're here. Two, get really solid on your feet. Lift the arms away from the wall and come into your arm part of eagle pose. Just breathe. Both knees are bent, everybody. Release the arms to the wall. Undo your elbows. Stand up straight and let go. That makes sense to everybody? I hope you could see that. Did that make sense, John? Awesome. Okay, so let's switch the block. Bring it to the outside of your right foot. Same thing. I'm facing my wall. Think mountain pose. These legs are solid. When you're ready, soften the knees and step your left foot over to the block. You're on the ball mound of your foot. You wouldn't be flat here. Ball mound and the back knee has to bend, right? So I actually squeeze my thighs together for strength and stability. And then I think about where the hips are. I square them to the wall. Your left leg is on top, so your right elbow goes to the top. You can either just cross the elbows, keep your hands on the wall, or you can release to eagle arms. Sitting in the pose, this is a beautiful way to play with the eagle pose. Good job, everybody. Release. Stand up. Bring the block back over to the other side. Hands are to the wall. Soften the knees. Step your right foot, the right ball mound, back to your block. Keep your hands on the wall. Have a seat, little baby seat, and then just see if your right foot will release from the block and either push into the outer shin or wrap around. Not everybody's ankles, feet, hips do the wraparound thing. If you're trying to keep your back leg straight, it's not going to happen. Okay. So right leg on top, left elbow on top, cross your arms. Get solid, get the weight in the middle of that left foot. If you're leaning toward the wall, you're not going to be able to get those hands off the wall. Release, see if you can find eagle pose. Breathe. Release, hands to the wall. Undo the wall. Stand up. Ooh, shake it out. So what have we done? We have slowed the process down. We've given ourselves permission to use the wall to help us find the balance with eagle. So let's do the other side. The block is to the outside of your right foot. You're really nice and tall. You're going to soften the knees. Step the left foot over to the block. Bend both knees, leave your hands on the wall. See if you can lift your left foot off your block and either press it to the outside shin or wrap it. If your knees are not comfortable here, stay to the outside shin. Fit in the pose a little bit and then think about it. Get to the middle of your standing foot. Cross your right elbow over your left. If you want to try, you can even come to fingertips or release the hands and find eagle at the wall. Big deep breath. Release your hands to the wall, straighten the legs. Shake it out. If you have enough wall space, just come to the wall. Walk your feet out, take your hips to the wall, bend the knees and come into a nice forward fold. Supported forward fold here. Your hands are touching something. If your lower back is tender, I would just take your elbows to your knees. That's really a nice one too. Big deep breath. And then come on up all the way. And step away from the wall. We are going to do one more eagle pose, everybody. If you want to stay at the wall for this play, please do. If you want to just be close enough that a hand can reach, go ahead and do that, okay? Don't worry, be happy. Okay. Mountain pose, that's all there is, mountain pose. Soft gaze out. One of the challenges of eagle as a balance pose is that as soon as you put your hands in front of your face, you throw that drishti off, that focus off a little bit. So think about that as you do the arms. Bend the knees, take your hands to your hips. Step over and let the big toe maybe land on the floor. Square the hips, lengthen through the belly, chest, and tailbone. One, you're here. Two, take the legs where, thank you all, where they want to go, right? Either wrapped or not. The arms can go out to cactus or straight. Take, if your right leg's on top, take the left elbow on top. I can't keep my mirroring straight. And come into eagle pose. Breathe, everyone. Woo. Eagle's just a little off kilter. There we go. And then release it and come on out. My eagle didn't want to stay. Shake it out, everybody. All right, let's do the other side. Left foot down, or right foot down, sorry. Cross knees, you can stay here. You can do outside foot to outside shin. Gotta bend the knees. Wrap the foot if that makes sense. The elbows, if it's your left leg on top, it's your right arm on top. And breathe. Sitting in the pose a little bit. finding your balance. And release. Oh, it's always fun as a teacher to just fall out of your pose. It's a great time. All right, come on back to the front of your mat. So funny, right? Um, all right, so just to the front of your, actually, before we come down, let's just do a little balance in the legs. So go narrow between the thighs and squeeze. When you squeeze, you feel that inner thigh roll back. It'll widen out through those sit bones there. Good. Maybe the feet come a little closer. The big toe mounds press down a little bit more. And breathe. 1, you're here. 2, take it second width, like you're riding a pony. Bring the knees in, bring the feet parallel to each other. Woo. And just stand. Narrow and then maybe second wide. And breathe. This is not comfortable for everybody, so if you're going, no, thank you, just go back to narrow. And let go. Okay, that feels better. Now come back to the front of your mat. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, come on down. Step back to downward facing dog. Hold your pose here if you can. And just breathe, just rock side to side. Inhale to your tippy toes. Exhale, lower the knees to the floor. And then come back to a seat. Come back to a seat. And I know I am going to start to cool down quickly. So I'm just going to throw my little sweater back on while I'm seated. Good. Straighten the legs, everyone. And then lean back. Bend your right leg and ideally bring the ankle above the knee. So seated figure 4. And then start to slide the left leg up. And you get to a point of first maybe sensation or stretch in the hip, just rock a little. And then come to center, maybe the heel slides up more. So the compensation is not to lean back more, okay? If you have to lean back a bunch more, then maybe this leg is up too high. And then just rock a little and hold. Now, some of you are going to be able to let the hands go. You can either cradle that leg or you can come in front of the leg, or you can even wrap through and hold this seated figure 4 a little bit. Maybe you rock. Yep, just breathe, everyone. Now, either, so many choices. Either you're going to be here or you're going to lessen the pose a little, or I want you to lean back and cross knees. If you cross knees, you can then go wide, and then you can find a version of cow face legs that works for you. This is another one where blocks come into play so beautifully. I bring my knees up, it lessens the stretch on the hips. It's much more accessible for some folks. The knees don't have to be stacked, they can be wider. Easier if the heels are closer to the hips for most people, but you got to watch those ankles. Deep breath. Good. One more big deep breath here. I'm just wiggling in space. Nice. Wherever you are, go ahead and lean back and straighten the legs. Come to Dandasana. Just engage the muscles of the legs and kind of a little bit of a reset here. And then release that, and let's go to the other side. So you're going to take the left ankle above the right knee, and come on, just start to bend, even if it's a teeny bit. Maybe you're here and you feel a sweet stretch in that hip. You are ready to go. Lean back, find your pose, maybe find the first stretch, and rock side to side. And breathe. And maybe that feels good and you're going to stay right here. Maybe you bend more. Maybe you let go of the hands and find the leg. Breathe. Deep breath, everybody. One, you're here. Two, you're going to loosen it up a little bit. That's enough for you. Three, you're going to cross the knees, lean back, and separate the feet. You can be right here. You can use your block, or you can drop those knees to the floor. Oh. For a little bit deeper stretch of the hips. What I find is that sometimes we can feel a little compression where the thighs and the hips meet. And I think in that case here, I would probably separate the knees and either, take them way out or come to more of a Baddha Konasana, which is not a stretch, but a release of the hips. Deep breath, everybody. One more. And let go, lean back. Give me one more Dandasana, straighten the legs. Whew. Have a block near you. We're going to come down to the floor. So slide your feet to the front of your mat. You can have a strap nearby. Yeah, I actually do have a strap with you. I think we'll do one final pose toward the end that I hadn't planned on. So have your strap nice and long. If you have a loop in it, either take that loop out or just make the loop really small so you have access to your full strap. Have your block and come on down. Grab your block and place it between your knees at the narrowest level, between the knees, not the thighs. If that hurts your knees, then move the block up and squeeze your knees. Squeeze your knees, please, and breathe. The rest of your body is comfortable. Your upper body feels nice and even, nothing super tight. You can take the arms out to T position or cactus if you want, just for a nice little opening. And then let that squeeze go. Bring the knees toward your chest. Take the block still between the knees to the second level. Squeeze your block. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. And let go. Bring the knees to your chest. Take the block wide, widest level. Squeeze your block. And let go. Bring that block to your chest and remove your block. Take your feet to the floor, grab your strap, wrap it around your right foot and take the right foot up to the ceiling. Straighten the left leg and then smooth the left thigh down to the floor. As if that left leg could get longer, right? As if it could go a little closer to the floor. Deep breath, everybody. With the strap in your right hand, take the right leg out to the right. Resist your urge to lift the left hip off the floor. Try to keep it planted or close. Nice deep breath. Inhale the leg to center. Grab the strap with your left hand and take the leg across to the left side. Keep the left leg grounded if you can. The right leg is just partially over. And center. Bend your right knee, release your strap, straighten the leg. Switch sides, the strap around your left foot. Your right leg is nice and straight. Your right leg straight, your left leg straight. You're just stretching that hamstring. The strap is in your left hand. Smooth the right thigh down. And then take the left leg out to the left. Resist the urge to lift the right hip. Find your breath. And then lift the leg up, grab the strap with your right hand, come across. Find your breath. Bring the leg up. Bend your knee, release your strap. This is the tricky part. We're going to come to happy baby. I'd like to use the strap for it. If it gets really confusing with the strap, then just do a regular happy baby. So you're going to bring your knees toward your chest, and the strap's going to sit along the front, the top of your foot, go outside to inside. In other words, it's going to wrap around your foot so that the straps are on the inside right along your arches. So it's almost as if you could lay the strap along the top of your foot, go outside to the bottom of your foot, inside to the inside of your foot, and then allow the feet to go nice and wide, at least shoulder width apart. The soles of the feet are together, and you are simply holding your strap and allowing gravity to take the legs into happy baby. I love this one. It feels where happy baby can be a bit straining when the strap is there and you're just letting the strap do the work and the weight of your arms doing the work. It can feel really, really good. So just let that happen. You can rock side to side. I invite you to close your eyes. And then just come to center. You can play with happy baby some where the back is not as flat and you're more level on the sacrum. You can go wider with your strap or narrower. Just hang in there. Your feet are wrapped. I don't know if the camera picks it up, but my legs are actually shaking a little bit. I'm not at all concerned about that. It's just releasing a whole bunch of tension. Breathe. One more deep breath. You're going to keep the strap around your feet. You're going to pull on the strap until your feet are together. They're straight up at the ceiling and your feet are back together. Your legs are back together. You're going to bend your knees, allow your feet to stay bound, and then lower your feet to either Baddha Konasana. This is going to kind of fall right into our Shavasana. So you're either in Shavasana with a bound angle, keep it soft, or you can still keep the feet bound but straighten the legs. So you can let the strap go or you can hold on to it gently. Either one of these, the feet relax, the legs relax. We're going to find our Shavasana. Make sure you are warm enough. Watch the low back here again if you're choosing the Baddha Konasana route. And just breathe. Maybe one hand to belly and one hand to heart again. We take the breath in and we let it go. And if you've chosen Baddha Konasana, like I have, I would stay here for a minute and then straighten the legs. So breathe in and out. And find that still soft voice within that reveals your connection to everything else. If you are still in Baddha Konasana, I would suggest that you go ahead and straighten the legs. You can leave the feet bound, it feels kind of good. Soften your jaw, your belly. Soften even more. If you are ready to come out of Shavasana, go ahead and wiggle out of your strap if it happens to still be there. Begin to bend your knees, bring your knees to your chest, maybe just a few knee circles one way and then the other way. And then allow the knees to roll over to one side. Come on over to fetal pose. From there, press up. Find your seat. Inhale, let the arms rise up. Exhale them to your heart. Bow to that inner voice and that inner knowing that we are all one. We will find that light and find that love over and over again. Namaste, everyone. Thank you so much for coming to class. Hope you enjoyed that. Have a great day, everybody.